So Bulldogs, all right, I talk a lot about metaphorically killing your father in order to become a man, and I want to really emphasize how important this is by responding to this email here. So we're gonna be talking about what it means to be a man and what it means really to internalize your perceptions of reality and really to internalize your judgment and have your own value system. These are the key elements of being a man. If you guys are just joining me for the first time, I'm John from BulldogMindset.com. On this channel, I teach you how to be a man. I teach you how to build financial independence, how to get the physique you want, how to get the girls you want, how to go from the victim mindset to the bulldog mindset, and everything about really improving yourself as a man. So click that subscribe button, join us, click the bell so you get notifications, and also take the Bulldog quiz. It is up here in the cards as always. And if you guys have been watching for a while, I'd appreciate a like on the video so we can get more men in the society that greatly needs men. So I'm just going to read this email. I'm not going to show you guys. It's pretty short. And he says here, "Hello, John. I hope you're enjoying your Thanksgiving. Unfortunately, I'll cut right to the chase. I was wondering if you could provide me with some additional advice. My father thinks I'm worthless. All right. He is right. And I say this objectively. I don't have a masculine frame and do not work as hard as he does. As alluded to in a previous email, I'm currently not financially independent. My parents are getting older and I'm the only offspring. I'll be 33 in January. I hardly see my father, but when I do, he is understandably disappointed in the way I turned out. Is there any way I can formulate a plan to stop being so worthless and become respected by my father and society? Is planning actually possible for me, or do I need to do something drastic? Is there even anything I can do?" All right, so this is my initial response. All right, fuck your father. All right, objectively, you're saying that you're worthless. You're not worthless, but objectively, do you not have a masculine frame and do you not work as hard as he does? Sure. Okay, that's fine. It's good to be honest with yourself. Okay, see, there's a difference between lying to yourself and creating a false ego and a false pumping yourself up, believing you're something you're not, okay, and believing that you have value because that's kind of like an entitlement, versus saying, hey, I objectively know who I am and what I am, but fuck you if you don't like that. This is my journey. This is my life. This is my path. I do what I want, and I live up to, or I don't live up to, my own standards, and I set my own standards for myself as a man. See, that's the key here, right? And I want to look at this part where he said here, I hardly see my father, but when I do, he's understandably disappointed in the way I turned out. You know what? Fuck him, right? Again, I have to say this because what right does he have to be disappointed in the way you turned out? Now, you may not have done everything that he wanted you to do, okay? But it's not your job to please your father. It's not your job to do what he wanted you to do in life. Now, I am not in any way not calling you accountable, okay? You still need to step up and be a man. But do you see the contradiction here? Do you see the problem? You cannot step up and be a man. Like you're basically asking me here. You're saying, okay, how can I formulate a plan to stop being so worthless and become respected by my father and society? Okay, so on one hand, okay, you're saying how can I stop being worthless? How can I be a man? How can I be a man who commands respect? Okay, who my father sees as a man, not a boy, as not worthless. Okay, as a hard worker, as someone who has a masculine frame. Let's say that, and society sees that. But how can I please my father and society? Do you see what I'm saying here? This is a contradiction. You cannot accomplish the first one if you're trying to do the other. There's no path in which you try and please other people for the sake of pleasing other people and you become a man. There's no way. That's not a path that you can take. All right. It's the same thing as guys in relationships trying to earn the girl. All right. They're trying to do things in order to please her, to make her love them. And by doing so, regardless of what they do, it doesn't matter what they do, the act of doing so, the reason, the motive behind it. Remember, I talk about all the time on this channel, it's not what you do, but it's how you do them. The why, the how, that's what matters. It's not what. But by doing those things, you create the opposite effect because the why, the how, is more important than the what. Okay. And if you're trying to please people, you're never going to please them, first of all. And you're never going to step into being a man, right? A man says, fuck everyone who thinks that they have some kind of hold on my life, that they have some kind of input onto how I should be living my life and what my value is. See, as a man, I define my own value. It doesn't matter what you guys think. You can thumbs down this video. Fuck you. I don't care. Why? Because I don't derive my value from what you think about me. I don't derive my value from what my father thinks about me. I don't derive my value from what women think about me. I don't derive my value from what society thinks about me. I derive my value from what I think about me. Okay. And that's so critical to understand. And I tell you this because as a man, you have to chart your own path, right? What makes you have a masculine frame, what makes you a man is your ability to be sovereign within yourself, to choose what you will do with your life and to have your own evaluation of that choice. Okay. Not to depend on other people, not to try and please people. So if you want to become respected by your father and society, the answer is that you have to stop trying to do that. You have to start doing things for your own purpose. You have to basically break away from that judgment. Like the only way that you're actually going to become that man that you want to become is when you stop caring and you adopt your own value system, right? I've got a video on how to become a man. Okay. I think it's like 3 ways or to become a man, or 2 ways. Go watch that video. All right. If you haven't watched that video, there'll be a link up in the cards here. Go watch that video. Go watch that video every day if you need to watch that video. Some of you guys need to put that in a playlist and watch that video. But what I say in there, I'll give you the quick summary, is 2 things. Okay. One, or well, maybe there's 3, but there's 2 main ones. All right. What it kind of boils down to is 1, metaphorically killing your father. What does that mean? It means killing his value systems, crowning yourself king, taking up the scepter, taking up the throne, and deciding that your values that you've created, that you've decided are important, reign supreme in your life. You are the center of your universe. You are the king. It is crowning yourself king. Okay? And in order to do that, you have to get rid of the value systems of your father. You have to get rid of the need for acceptance from your father and from society, from your surrogate father. Okay? You have to reject all that and say, I don't care. I only care about what I think about myself, right? And you might have a low value of yourself right now. You might say, well, I agree that I'm worthless. I'm not where I need to be. That's fine. And that's good. Okay. It's good to be objective to understand where you're at. But here's the difference. And this is why this is so critical. If you objectively know that you need to be working harder, okay, that you have things you need to improve on in life. And I'll tell you in a second here about an exercise that I have in the Bulldog Mindset membership. By the way, click the link down below if you haven't already. $7 to get in there for the first month, okay? But if you objectively know where you need to work on things as a man, okay, there's 2 motivations that will push you forward to actually do those things, okay? The first motivation is the one that you have right now, which is you want to be accepted and respected by your father and society. How good of a motivation is that? It's not working for you. It's not working for any of you guys that are trying to do this. Anytime you're doing something with the motivation behind it of you're trying to prove your worth in life, to be accepted by people, be accepted by your father, to be accepted by women, to be accepted by society, that motivating factor is not going to be enough. Because as soon as it gets tough, you're going to get discouraged and you're going to beat yourself up because it's not an intrinsic motivation, okay? You do not have an internal locus of control. You're doing things to get a result. And when you don't get the result, you get disappointed, okay? It's not inspired by yourself. It's like slavery. You're being pushed to do it. You feel like compelled to do it. You feel obligated to do it in order to prove your value and worth to other people, not because you intrinsically want to. So that's the first motivation. It's a weak motivation. It's never going to work. The second motivation for improving your deficiencies is because you hold yourself to a higher standard. It's because you have a vision of yourself as a man that you want to live up to because it's important to you, because that is your identity, because you see yourself as, because you will not accept less from yourself than this. This is the second motivation, the true motivation. This is the motivation that will make you become a David Goggins. This is the motivation that will make you get up in the morning and do what needs to be done and push yourself, because you're doing it for you, because you're doing it because you believe in yourself, because you're doing it because you will not accept anything less than what you feel like you deserve in life and what you want in life. And you know the only way you're going to get it is by doing it. This is the opposite of the victim mindset. This is what I teach you guys. So again, what I talked about before, if you want to figure out your deficiencies, okay, that's a good thing. You should be objective about it. Like I said, there's a link down below. Go join the Bulldog Mindset membership. It's just $7 for the first month, okay? Community of like-minded men. If you want to become a strong man, you have to be around strong men. In there, I have an exercise. I think it's in the second month or whatever in the mindset. And what I have you do is what I call the looking in the mirror exercise, okay? I'm not going to give you all the details. Go check out the membership for $7, at least for the first month. You could cancel out if you want to after that. Most people don't, okay? But you can check it out and you can see. And that is a way to figure out what your deficiencies are physically, mentally, character-wise in life, and to start fixing those things, okay? So that's the path. If you want some help with that, go check it out, go join it, and be in a group of men that are pushing themselves, okay, that are creating their own value systems in life. This is the thing that I teach you guys in there. I can only do so much on YouTube, but when we can work together in a closer environment, especially in a community of men that have the same vision, we can do a lot more. So go check that out. All right. So in summation, to wrap this up, what do you need to do, right? I want to answer this last question. Is there a way I can formulate a plan to stop being so worthless and become respected by my father in society? Is planning actually possible, or do I need to do something drastic? Is there anything I can do? Okay. This is what you can do. You need to have a conversation with your father. Okay. It's going to be a hard conversation. And you need to basically say, fuck you, Dad. Now, I don't mean that you need to actually tell him to fuck off. All right. You guys need to learn some tact. All right. Some of you guys. All right. There's a way to have this conversation. I had to have this conversation with my dad. All right. He didn't talk to me for over a year after I had this conversation. But now we see each other as men. We are good friends now. Okay. Because we both have our own kingdoms, right? We're kings of our own kingdom. I'm not a subject in his kingdom anymore. But you need to have a talk with your dad. You need to say, look, Dad, I love you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate, what you've done for me. But I'm going to live my life. And I do not accept people putting their judgments on me. I do not accept people putting their guilt or their obligations on me. I am my own man. I live my life how I choose. And I do not allow people in my life who disparage me and who try to make me live my life the way they want them to. Now, if you continue to do that, I can't talk to you. I love you. I will always love you. And I appreciate you, man. But if you continue to do that, if you continue to disparage me, if you continue to try to control me, if you continue to try to use guilt to make me feel obligated to live my life in the way that you want me to live, then I cannot associate myself with you. And you just let him be angry. Let him be upset about that. Let him call you ungrateful. It's fine. Don't get angry. Don't get upset. Don't engage. You've said your piece. And then you just have to hang up the phone. Because that has to be, you have to have a standard. And this is not just a standard you should have for your father. It's a standard you should have for everyone in your life. This is a conversation that I have in many ways, maybe not in quite those words, with anyone in my life. In fact, people that don't even deserve the respect of me having that conversation, do you know what the conversation I have with them? It's nothing. They just get cut off. I just don't deal with people who don't treat me with respect. You disrespect me. You try to obligate me. You try to bully me or control my life or to guilt me or make me feel like I need to do something. I just don't deal with you. I just don't do it. I can't be bullied. I can't be pushed around. I am my own man. So that's what you need to do if you want to solve this problem. And then you need to live your life authentically in that fashion. You need to stop caring about living up to some other standard of your father, of society, of other people. If you do that, then and only then can you become a man.